How to study and remember muscle names. Hello everyone, this is Dr. Cisse covering anatomy and physiology. Welcome to our study of the muscular system. One of the first things students say when they begin this chapter, there are too many muscles. How am I supposed to memorize all of them? The good news is that you do not need to memorize hundreds of random names. Muscle names actually follow patterns. Once you understand those patterns, learning muscles become much easier. In this video, I will introduce the muscular system and share strategies that will help you learn and remember muscle names more efficiently. Let's get started. Why do we need to know muscle names? Muscles are responsible for movement, posture, heat production, and many other important functions. Healthcare professionals, veterinarians, physical therapists, nurses, athletic trainers, and biologists must be able to identify muscles and understand their functions. Learning muscle names is similar to learning the names of people. At first, it seems overwhelming, but once you recognize faces, relationship, and patterns, remembering becomes easier. The same is true for muscles. Don't memorize individual muscle first. One of the biggest mistakes students make is trying to memorize every muscle one by one. Instead, learn muscles in a group. For example, muscles of the facial expression, muscles of mastication, like chewing, muscles of the neck, muscles of the shoulder, muscles of the arm, muscles of the forearm, muscles of the trunk, muscles of the thigh, muscle of the leg. So you're going to divide this way first. Take each part and learn separately. Your brain remembers organized information much better than random information. What is the first strategy? Learn the meaning behind muscle names. Most muscles name tell you something about the muscle. They may describe, for example, the location of the muscle, the size of the muscle, the shape of the muscle, the direction of the collagen fibers inside the muscle, the number of origins, remember for bicep, tricep, bi-and 3, the action, like buccinator, flexor, attachment points, what they come from or what they're going to. If you learn the meaning of the words, the names become easier to understand. For example, temporalis, located over the temporal bone. Frontalis, over the frontal bone. Intercostal, between the ribs, like international, intercostal. Tibialis anterior, located near the tibia and on the anterior side. Suddenly, these names are no longer random. Strategy number 2, learn common prefixes and suffixes. Many muscles share common terms. For example, maximus, minimus, major, which means what? Larger, minor, smaller, brevis, short, longest, long, anterior front, posterior back. So in the medialis, for example, towards the middle, lateralis towards the side. So learning these will kind of make you easy for kind of memorize. When students learn these terms, many muscle names begin to make sense automatically. Strategy number 3, use muscle map. Instead of reading lists of names using diagram, point to each muscle and say its name aloud. Then cover the name and test yourself. The goal is not simply to read the muscle name. The goal is to recognize it visually. When you see it, you feel it on yourself, right? Anatomy is a visual science. You have to see it. Strategy number 4, learn by function. Muscles that perform similar actions are often grouped together. For example, the quadriceps, right? They extend the knee. They're in the front of the femur. For example, the hamstrings, they flex the knee, they're on the back of the femur. The calf muscle, they do the plantar flex of the foot, like sitting on your tippy toe. The bicep brachia flex the elbow. When you connect the muscle to movement, your brain remembers them better. Strategy number 5, draw and label. One of the most powerful study techniques is drawing. You do not need to be an artist. Draw a simple outline of the body, label the major muscles. Each time you draw them, your memory becomes stronger. You connect the thing. Research consistently shows The active learning improves retention more than passive reading. Strategy number 6, teach someone else. If you can explain a muscle to another person, you probably understand it. Try teaching a friend, for example, a family member, classmate, or even your pet. For example, the sternocleidomastoid muscle turns the head. The masseter closes the jaw. The deltoid abducts the arm. Abduct away from you, abduction. Teaching forces your brain to organize information. Strategy number 7, study a little every time. Just a little bit and you go. Do not wait until the night before the exam. Of course, the muscular system is too large for cramming. Instead, spend a few minutes to review a little bit and come back to you. Short session, multiple time will teach you better. Consistency beats intensity. A quick example, let's look at the muscle called sternocleidomastoid muscle. At first, the name seems impossible. Sternocleido is kind of long, but if you break it down, sterno means the sternum, cleido means the clavicle, and then the mastoid is the mastoid process of the temporal bone behind the ear. The name tells you exactly where the muscles come from or what is attaching to. Many muscle name words works the same way. The more root you learn, the easier anatomy becomes. Final advice, students often think anatomy is about memorization. It is not. Anatomy is about recognizing patterns. Students who succeed are not always the students with the best memory. There are the students who learn how the naming system works. Once you understand the language of anatomy, the muscular system becomes much easier to master. So in this chapter, we'll learn the major muscles of the body, their locations, actions, and function. Remember, learn muscles in group, learn the meaning of muscle names, use diagram, practice often, teach others, focus on understanding, not memorization. So in the next video, we'll be exploring major muscles of the body region by region. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next lesson.